Hello from my house. Freshly shaved a little bit. Straight razor shave gives mad razor burn. Ouch! Yeah, I just had an impulse to talk about something. It's called the Tangle. And what is the Tangle? Maybe you've heard of the term discernment. It comes up in, well, it's a regular English word. It means differentiating between things. It also comes up in Taoism a lot. And, you know, I haven't studied what that means, but I think I know what it means in the Taoist context as well. And this has to do with the Tangle. So what is the Tangle? I'm imagining like a ball of yarn that a cat would maybe play with. And it is a bunch of stuff tangled together. And it is a common problem in the realm of, I would say, trauma and how we interact with the world, in which if like one problem gets pinged, like something happens and it activates a problem within us, then that problem also activates a bunch of other problems because they're tangled, so they aren't discerned from each other. And I grabbed my phone so quickly to record this video that I just forgot, I think, because I had like an impulse that was like, oh, this is like a tangle. Oh, now I remember. I just wrote a tweet about coffee and how I've been drinking basically unlimited coffee for most of the year. And right now I'm having like, I think my second sober period of the year. The first one was right after all the Christmas and New Year's debauchery. And now I'm having after the summer debauchery, I'm having like a bit of a sober time. And I'm drinking a little bit less coffee. And it was like one day coffee, one day off, one day coffee, one day off now. And I'm just noticing the energy levels. Today is an off day. I don't know if you're noticing, but I'm like, yeah, poof. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the caffeine vacuum. So I'm drinking tea instead, which I shall do now for demonstrative purposes. Yes, this is a giant mug. And I enjoyed right now that I could discern what the low energy level that I'm feeling is. And for me, it's clearly, I had a coffee yesterday and today I haven't. And I could feel my body being like, get me a coffee. And I'm like, you know what? I don't think you need that. And then, to discern that and to also, and then the second stage of discernment here is kind of like, on other days I would have a coffee because I would be like, okay, if I don't have it, then this energy problem will affect a bunch of other things that I want to do. And today I feel like I can actually like isolate the lack of caffeine and like put it into a corner and work around it and have the other things that I want to do not be affected by that. Or if I feel like I can be like, yeah, you didn't have a coffee, it's fine, deal with it. And so it's kind of this active, the first step of discernment is like, oh, what am I really feeling? And the second step of discernment is like, oh, I can have it like a negative feeling, but I can work around it. I don't have to compensate for it. I can work around it. And for me, this leads to potentially untangling things. The tangle came up when I was at Micro Solidarity Summer Camp, and we had a recurring topic, as you will notice. We had a workshop, and it was called "Let's Talk About Sex, Baby," and we did that. We got together in small groups, and we talked about sex. And one person in my group was talking about how she would, get involved with people, and then it would lead to this whole thing of problems. Like it would just trigger a tangle, or a whole host of problems that were associated with maybe hooking up with someone, and then it's never just hooking up with someone. It's never just, oh, let's enjoy that, and then that's it, or whatever. But excuse me, it's always a whole ass thing. And then I was like, it's the tangle, and that's where it came up. And I think sex and relationships are often a very great thing to find yourself in a tangle of, entangled, you could say, in with love, but also with a lot of fear or insecurity, or a lot of frustration and trauma, and just a bunch of shit. And that's where you get tangled up. So that's where it first came about. So this is maybe another example. Yeah, and I guess the art is something like trying to slowly pull apart the threads of the tangle. And there are classic things when you're in interpersonal conflict, and you need to disengage, also disentangle, where you're like, hey, this is you, not me, or this is me, not you, and you're trying to slowly wiggle yourself out of the tangle. So there are many, I think many points in time or situations where things get entangled. And I'm also not saying that it's necessarily bad that things are entangled, but I think that is discernment. It's important to recognize, which means recognize. So like, let it reappear in your mind what is what belongs here and what belongs there, what belongs to you and what belongs to me. And so if you recognize that, even if things are tangled, the multiple threads that are in the tangle start getting their own colors, and you can, even if they're entangled, you can follow them through the tangle and be like, oh, that's that thread, and then that is that thread, and that's another one, and you can maybe discern, even just in the first step. You don't even have to pull them apart. And how to do that, I would say, I don't have the greatest formula right now. I would just say, look at the thing that seems entangled and look at it over and over again, and write, journal, or somehow try to pull single threads out and look at them and identify them. And then over time, they will appear to you in a different resolution. That's how I usually do it. I mean, most of my stuff I don't. I just talk about it a lot with friends and write about it. And if it's a real trouble, I really write about it. And then it really takes time. So that's that. So that's a little riff on the tangle. The tangle. Yeah, that's been coming up. Usual questions. Do you know the tangle? Do you have a way of dealing with it? Do you see it similarly, differently? Everybody has a different experience. Or maybe would like to use a different word. So please let me know in the comments if you're so inclined. And see you soon. Talk soon.